Hey, that's my kind of country right there. It's our kind of country here on the Real Country Revival. Jesse Daniel rolling on, and he's joining us on the phone. He's rolling on the freeway in somewhere in Texas, I think, at the moment. Hello, Jesse.
Hey, Charlie, how you doing?
Doing real well. Thank you very much for taking some time to join us here on the Real Country Revival. I appreciate it.
Of course, man. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's our pleasure. Rolling on, we just played. You're rolling down the freeway somewhere in Texas, heading to Arizona, I heard.
That's right. Yeah, we're just rolling down Interstate 10. We are headed for Arizona, and we're going to be touring the whole West Coast and all the western states this whole month. So we'll be out on the road for this month, and then pretty much the rest of the year.
Very good. I saw you tour quite a bit, huh? Some kind of crazy.
Yes, sir.
I don't know if I was looking at dates or miles on the website, but 200 and something crazy. 50,000 miles on the road last year or something?
Yeah, absolutely. And 200 plus dates, easy. I mean, sometimes more, some less, but we try to be very busy, and it's, getting to the point now where it's finally picking up some steam, and we just want to get busier and busier. So glad it's going that way.
So are we. The Real Country Revival plays what we like to call the real country, for lack of a better term. And we use a broad definition, alternative country, outlaw country, classic country, of course, mixed in. But a lot of people less familiar with the genre don't realize there's anything after Willie Nelson, Waylon Jennings, Merle Haggard, and Buck Owens and Johnny Cash and all the classic. They don't realize that there's a bunch of artists like yourself still doing it right here in 2023.
Definitely. I think there's something very cool that's happening right now as far as that kind of real country revival, like you said. There's a lot of younger people that are influenced on, those guys like Willie and Waylon and Merle Haggard, and they're bringing that music and those influences back, where I feel like it kind of veered off for a while, but I think that it's coming back into style, and I'm glad that it is, trying to do my part in keeping that history alive.
Yeah, and still putting your own very original spin on it, and I hear your fans like to call it my kind of country. Is that right?
That's it. That's what they call it, and that's kind of why we decided to call the new live album My Kind of Country, Live at the Catalyst, because people have been saying that for years. And, they kind of coined that phrase, and so we decided to run with it.
I think despite the unquestionable popularity of pop country, of course, and there's the pop country stuff that's so mainstream and derivative, and then the bro country stuff. But yeah, it can kind of alienate some people, and then when you hear it, like me, I can totally see that's my kind of country. That's what Jesse Daniel's doing. That's my kind of country. You know it when you hear it.
Right. I love that, man. I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, it's very cool, and I saw you're from, because I go back and forth. You're in a state that I love the country music that comes out of Texas right now. The red dirt stuff up in Oklahoma and in that area. But yeah, so many Texas artists, I just get hooked into that. But in addition, arguably my favorite area for that sound is not far from, I guess, where you were born and raised up in that California, not in Bakersfield, but in that area surrounded by the Bakersfield sound. Is that your roots, would you say?
Definitely, yeah. I'd say that's, my main influence. And there's, so much country music history in California, like you just said, that I'd say a lot of people aren't as familiar with, as, say, like the Texas music scene or Nashville.
Sure.
But, California country music, as far as, Buck Owens, Merle Haggard, I think they really kind of helped to shape what honky-tonk music, became in the 90s and 2000s and all the way up to now. So that's kind of my cross to bear, is trying to, bring that home state sound of my own all over the country and the world, and keeping that California tradition of country music alive, Yeah,
I love it. I lived in Bakersfield for a little bit, and old Buck Owens Crystal Palace was where.
Oh yeah, I love the Crystal Palace. I've seen Dwight Yoakam there, and I've been there a bunch of times, and I love that place.
Yeah, but
still haven't played there. That's on my list.
That's the bucket list one. Yeah, I could imagine wanting to see him. Old Buck was still alive when I was in Bakersfield, so that was kind of neat. But
wow,
you
that's
just
really cool.
Yeah, you recorded an album though, and another probably not quite up there like the Crystal Palace, but for people that know, they know your live album you recorded. Basically, you could say, near your hometown or right in your neighborhood where you spent a lot of time in Santa Cruz. But talk about where you recorded your live album that just came out.
Yeah, definitely. So I grew up, close to Santa Cruz, California, right up in a little small mountain town called Ben Lomond, California, just on the Central Coast. And very close to there is Santa Cruz, and there's a venue called the Catalyst, and that's kind of the biggest rock and roll, blues, whatever live music club in the area, And so I grew up going to shows there, and I eventually worked there. And then when I started playing music as Jesse Daniel, that was the first place that I ever played. They had a tiny stage in their upstairs bar that I used to play for tips. And that's kind of where I got my start. So eventually, we started playing more and more and building up a name for ourselves locally in that Santa Cruz area and around California. And eventually, we started doing real well. We went back to the Catalyst this past year, and that's where we made the live record for a sold-out crowd there. It was pretty incredible.
That has to be just, kind of full circle type of really rewarding experience to be able to see all that hard work come to that kind of not a conclusion, but a climax, a highlight at least along your journey.
Definitely.
So congratulations.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, congratulations on that. And what do you think what do you think's the key there for to capture the live show? Because I've yet to see you live. I'm going to get to that in a second here too. But you're known for having really dynamic, great live shows. What was your approach, or what do you think the key is to capturing those live shows? Because bands are putting out live albums all the time, for better or worse. Some hit the mark, and some, I don't think anything replaces actually being there live. But what did you go for? What did you think? What was your goal in capturing the live album?
Well, first off, I agree with you that I think nothing can really replace that feeling of seeing a band live and feeling the music. Because when you're there and you're feeling that reverberation coming back at you and the energy of the crowd and everything, that's just the beauty of live music. But I think, live records are kind of the next best thing. And if, like you said, some people miss the mark and some people hit it. And our goal was to basically make the best possible live record that we could, because we had been touring a whole lot the last few years, and the lineup that I had, we were really tight at the time. We had definitely dialed in that set, and we had that show coming up, and I knew that it was going to be a sold-out big show, and it was a hometown kind of homecoming show. So we thought, what better place to do a live record than a traditionally really rowdy place like Santa Cruz to do, that recording. And it ended up being spot on. The crowd was insane, and the band played great, and we ended up getting everything recorded the way we wanted to. So I'm proud of the way that it turned out.
Beautiful. And it's out now. It is My Kind of Country, live at the Catalyst. Jesse Daniel.
That's
and you
it.
can get that wherever you get your music. And then you're, of course, on the road playing 200 plus shows, covering tons of miles in the U.S. Have you played in Europe before? And it looks like you've got in July, you're going to be in Belgium, and then some shows in the UK and a show in France. Is this going to be your first time over, or have you played Europe before?
No, this will be my first time. Okay. I've never been to Europe. I've never been across the pond, so to speak. So I'm really looking forward to this, and I want to let any listeners, European listeners, know that we are not finished with announcing European dates, and we're going to have some more coming out soon. So I can't wait to see everybody over there.
Oh, exciting. Jesse Daniel, I can't wait for it as well. You're now officially, like it or not, a friend of the show. So
I love it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Definitely keep in touch. I want to thank Sean, who actually was working. My people were working with your people to get this phone interview set up. So I want to thank Sean for getting us in touch. It was really nice talking to you, Jesse. And
absolutely, Charlie. Thank you.
Yeah, keep us posted. So I'll keep an eye on your tour schedule, and then hopefully you can add some more dates in our neighborhood, and we can maybe get you in live in the studio when you're over here.
I'd love to do that, man. We will definitely keep you guys posted, and we'll be posting all that stuff, and I'll look forward to doing that. We'll make it happen one day soon.
Good deal. Well, we're in touch now. We're going to play something off the live album to get everyone that much more anxious, and I have some listeners in Arizona, as a matter of fact. So all the Arizona folks, you're going to be playing. Where are you playing tomorrow night? Do you know it off the top of your head? I can look it up.
Yeah. Tomorrow night we're going to be at a place called the Dirty Drummer.
I like the name, the Dirty Drummer.
It's getting close to sold out. There's still some tickets left though, so get them while you can if you're listening.
All right, so those of you in Arizona, do that tomorrow, and then we'll keep your eyes peeled for later on in the summer. You over here in Europe, we're going to play Tar Snakes, the live version of it. And I was listening to it. It sounds like it's those white lines on the freeway, and they turn into little snakes. Is that was how I was interpreted? What are tar snakes?
Tar snakes are that's pretty close. It's basically the cracks in the road, and then the county will come out and they'll pour that tar over them to kind of cover them up, and that's kind of like old trucker slang, or bikers use it too. Like, watch out for tar snakes, on the road, because they'll kind of mess you up.
I got it, because there's so many little white line, white line fever, little white line. So I was thinking it was something with the white lines on the freeway. But there you go, tar snakes. Now I got it.
Yep. That's it.
Cool, man. Anything else, or I'll fire up this song and let you get back to enjoying the scenery there in Texas. Anything else?
No, I just truly appreciate you having me on, man, and I look forward to seeing all folks listening out there in Europe when we come over, bringing our kind of country music to you.
Definitely, Jesse. Thanks a lot, and we'll be in touch.